recording today back here. I'm going to be working these with you. So I want to take a look at the very first example. All right, if you guys look at this, does your number 1 match mine? All right, is y by itself? All right, so let's go through the steps. Do we have parentheses that we need to distribute?
Yeah.
All right, so we have to distribute. Hey guys, I know it's a shortened class period, but I do need you guys to stay with me. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute. It doesn't affect the y plus 7, so let's just bring that down. But when we distribute here, what is 3 times x? 3x. And then 3 times 4? Now, what do we need to move?
7.
All right, so if I move a positive 7 over to the other side, what does it become? All right, I'm actually going to just change that and mark it out because I'm running out of space. Is that okay with everybody? All right, so then we have to combine our like terms, which the 3x doesn't have anything to combine with. But what do we do with 12 minus 7? What is 12 minus 7?
5.
Positive 5. There we go. So this right here is what we call, it's actually called slope-intercept form. So we have y equals, and then we have mx plus b. So this is what we did 2 weeks ago. You guys actually had a quiz on this and you did really well. So we're solving for y first. Now we're going to graph. So we have 2 numbers here. Which one is the slope? All right. Oh, it's just the number, not the x. So the slope is 3 over 1, right? And then the y-intercept is 5. So which one do I begin with when I graph? All right. Which axis does it go on, Brian? The y-axis. So do I go up 5 or do I go over 5 to start? We start on positive 5 on the y-axis. Okay. If you guys ever have a question on which one to start with, are you guys ready for a little helpful hint, Brian?
Yeah.
Brian, are you ready for a helpful hint?
I got it
Do you see how these are M and B?
Yeah.
B, think of it, B will tell you how to begin. Begin with B. M will tell you how to move.
I'm not going to remember that.
Begin with B, M, move. Like B, begin, M, move.
Now be out of my head. B, we go red.
Okay, that actually kind of like, which one comes first in the alphabet? B. Start with B. So we begin with B on the y-axis at positive 5. Now my slope is 3 over 1. So how does that tell me to move?
3 over 1.
Which way over?
Right.
Do you guys agree with that? Up 3 over 1. Now what if we had ran out of room? We're at the tippy top, but what if
You would have went down and to the left.
we would have went down 3 and to the left 1? Either way works. And then, hey guys, can I just do this and be done, or do I need to extend that line to make it pretty? Extend it. Why do we put arrows on lines?
Why is there 3
Why is that green?
I was just showing you that if we had not had room to go up 3 and to the right 1, you could have also went down 3 and to the left 1. All right, so guys, what do you think? These are just 2 things we already know how to do. We're just doing them all in the same problem.
Yeah, but number 2 confused me.
Okay, number 2 confuses you. What confuses you there?
Well, because, yeah, but, what are you supposed to do with the 4x?
Okay, so let's go. Do you see those 4 steps? Do we have parentheses to distribute?
No.
All right, so we don't have to distribute on this one. But the second step says put y terms on the left and non-y terms on the right.
Yeah.
So how do I move a 4x to the other side?
We make negative.
All right, so negative 3y equals, and that is a negative 3, right?
Yeah.
So when I move this 4x over, and we always like to write the x term first. Negative 4x, and then it's a positive 9, so I write plus 9.
Yeah, but what do you do? You can't
What in the world?
divide anything, because
Okay, we've done this, but let's just review. All right, so is everyone okay with moving that positive 4 to the other side and it becomes a negative? All right, do we have any like terms to put together on this one? You know, say they're all different. There's nothing to put together, but we have to divide what coefficient or what number is with y? Just 3? Negative 3. So this is where we divide this by negative 3. We have to divide each one by negative 3. So now our final thing we need to do is simplify. So we have y equals, now look here, can I divide 4 by 3? No, we're going to leave that as a fraction, but what do we know about two negatives?
positive.
That's a positive, so we're going to write that as a positive 4 over 3x. And then, so Brian, are you okay with that?
Oh shoot, I messed up.
Yep, two negatives make a positive. Now for the second part, we're taking positive 9 divided by negative 3. What does that give me?
-3.
So then we write minus 3. So now we have a slope and we have a y-intercept. We can graph that, right?
Oh shit.
All right, so before we graph, do you guys have any questions over the solving part?
No.
So we moved the 4x over to the right. The positive 4 became a negative 4 when we moved it. Then we divided every single piece by negative 3 because we had to get the y by itself. Two negatives made a positive, and then positive 9 divided by negative 3 gave me that negative 3. So now we are ready to graph. We begin with b, right? So does negative 3 tell me to go up 3 or down 3 to begin? Down 3. So you should have a dot at negative 3 on the y-axis. Now what does my slope tell me to do?
Up 4,
All right, and where do we start counting from, Harmony?
the dot.
Huh?
Where do we start counting up 4 from?
From the dot.
From the dot. There we go. All right, so right here we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 1, 2, 3. Now, can you make another dot using that same pattern if you want? Yeah, you could go up 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I honestly think the more dots you make, the easier it is to make a better line. You only need 2 points to make a line, but I think that making more points, it just helps you make a straighter line. If you guys want to use my straight edges to help make straight lines, that's also acceptable. I will never deny you a ruler.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna make one of those chip back
All right. What are you guys thinking?
It's easy.
All right. Just really quick, give me a thumbs up if it's good, a sideways thumb if you're on the right track but not for sure. Thumbs down means I have no idea what you've done in the last 5 minutes. Hey, this is good. I want to see these. This might concern me. You're allowed to do this, but if I need to know if you're feeling this. Now, let's take a look at 3. Hey, we did these. So we did problems like number 3, but we haven't solved for a week, so I wanted to make sure that we did these. So we are distributing here. We have parentheses, right? So let's bring down our y minus 1. Hey, what? 2/3 times x. What does that give me? 2/3 x. All right, now guys, this is the important part. Is everybody watching? We are taking 2/3 times 6. So do you guys remember in a fraction, how do I take a whole number times a fraction?
Multiply like 6 times 3 and then divide
Hang
by
on.
2.
Okay, which number do we multiply? And then we divide the bottom. So You might want to remind yourself, if you are multiplying a whole number times the fraction, you always multiply the top number and divide the bottom number when you're doing that.
So it's
So we're going to take 6 times 2. What's 6 times 2? Divided by 3.
4.
So that would be a plus 4. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you're okay with that 4.
Yeah, I guess.
So we did 6 times the top number is 12, divided by the bottom number. 12 divided by 3 is 4. All right, so we have distributed. All right, we need to move some stuff. What needs to be moved? That is a good question. The only thing we want on the left is a y.
So -1
All right, if I move it over, what's going to happen to it?
plus 1.
So a -1 comes over and becomes a +1. So then we can combine our like terms. The 2/3 x stands alone because it's the only term with an x. But what about the 4 plus 1? 4 plus 1? Hey guys, we're taking 4 plus 1 plus 5. I could have swore I heard someone say plus 7.
I've heard that.
Okay. All right, so 2/3 x plus 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. Now, once we have this, we can graph. So we start out with a +5, right? Because that's my y-intercept. And then how do I move? Up 2, to the right 3. And we can connect that. Hey guys, can I have you try number 4 by yourself?
Yeah, I guess.
It's, hey, if you are looking at number 4 out of the 3 that we've done already, which one does it look the closest like? Looks the most like number 1. And are you doing it in pencil in case you need to fix something? Okay.
You kept sending me pictures of you. I just sent streaks. I just sent streaks, but I don't have one.
Hey, what do you guys think about my first step?
Yeah.
Hey Nate, do you agree with my first step? Y plus 4, and then when I distribute it, I got 2x plus 4?
Yes.
Hey, what happens when I move this positive 4 over and make it a negative?
Huh?
It becomes 0.
It becomes 0. Did you guys all have a 0 there?
Yeah.
All right, so then we begin at 0. And then on this one, my slope is 2 or 2 over 1. So did you guys go up 2 and over 1?
Oh, shoot. I didn't go over 1.
Yep, always go over 1.
I always forget about that.
You know, say there are some lines, Harmony, that go straight up and down,
Yeah.
but we're just not there yet. Because remember the undefined slope? No, so we'll talk about how to deal with undefined slope, and the equations just look a little bit different. All right, so let's see. We have about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to pick 2 for you guys to try on the back, and then we'll go over them, and then we'll be done for the day. So let's see. How about 6 and 7? All right, so I want you guys to try 6 and 7 on your own. We will go over them, and then, hey, I want everyone to look at number 7 really quick. I made a mistake. Do you guys think that I want that to be a plus or a minus 8? Yeah, I started to write a plus, and it's really heavy, but this should be a minus 8. So you guys are trying 6 and 7. All right, I'm going to move this for a second and actually do the work.
What numbers are you supposed to do again?
6 and 7.
I don't know what I did. I don't even care.
You get for 7? You have to get You must have been a mistake.
I was really I don't know what I did.
Okay,
I'm so over everything.
here's your number 6.
That's not
All right, so the first thing I did is I moved this negative 2x over and made it a positive 2x.
How'd you get 4? I got 6.
I got 6. I got 4.
Okay,
Did I multiply?
I think, did you divide by 3?
You always divide by
Yes, I did divide by 3.
Yeah, you're
Okay, 12 divided by 3 is 4.
Yeah.
12 divided by 2 is 6.
I'm so slow.
Oh, I know what I did wrong. I put 3y on the other side.
Yeah, the y always stays on the left, so the negative 2x comes over, becomes a positive 2. Then I divide each part by 3. 2/3 doesn't divide, so we leave it as a fraction. 12 divided by 3 gives me the 4. So then I started out at positive 4, and then I went up 2 and over 3. And if you need to make changes, make changes. What do you guys think? Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that much.
There you go.
All right.
Like I said, do whatever you want to with
Hey,
it.
what size waist on pants?
It's an 8, so what is that, 29?
'Cause that's what most of mine are like. Anywhere between like a 27 to a 30.
I'd say it's probably, I think it's, I don't know, I don't shop that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. So I would say, I think.
It's like 6'8"ish.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah. That's what it is. I think it's a 28 or 29.
okay. Then that's probably the exact same thing. Yep.
Like I said, I don't want it back.
Okay.
You can pass it on to
All
someone
right.
else if you want or whatever.
All right. Sounds good. All right. What do you guys think about number 6? Have changes been made that need to make changes?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Now let's look at 7. All right. Okay, the first thing, I didn't do anything with the y plus 5, but when I distribute, are you guys all okay with this negative 3/4 x? Okay, I told you guys that was a minus, so 2 negatives turn into a positive 6. Where did I get 6 from?
I didn't know I was supposed to do number 7.
3 times 4, which is 24, divided by 4, which is 6.
Yep, 8 times 3 is 24. 24 divided by 4 gives me 6. And then I also moved the 5 over in this step. If you guys want to write that in 2 separate steps, that's okay. And then 6 minus 5 gives me a positive 1. So I put those two together. Started out at a positive 1 and then went down 3 and over 4. All right, so we are to a point. We have 5 minutes left. Now, I have an assignment for you, but I'm not making you do the whole thing because of the delay.
Wait, you just said
That was
you did
notes.
it.
Well, like done with notes. Okay, so the assignment for day 1, there are a total of 10.
Yes, you are.
You are only going to be doing 5. So once you have this, get it ready and circle the ones I'm going to just pick 5.
I was so
Well, it could easily go back to 10.
I'm good, really. I'm complaining. I'm just kidding. This is definitely my favorite class. I feel like lies about you do like 3 pages, or actually you do exercises 9 to 11 on your private day.
All right, are you ready? All right, so for your day 1 assignment, you are not doing all 10 of these, but let me pick ones I want to do.
Proceed to number 1. No.
How about number 2 and 4 on the front? So on the front, number 2 and number 4. And then on the back, I got to pick 3. So let's go with, how about 7, 9, 10? All right, so the front side, what 2 problems are you doing? All right, on the back, which 3? All right. Hey, when's this due? Tomorrow. It's 5 questions. Between this 5 minutes, do 1 now, do 2 tonight, and do the other 2 during ACT tomorrow. You're done.
When do we get out of this?
We get out of here at 11:45. The schedule is up on the board. I don't know if you guys have...
Can we do one now?
Like, you can like 1 problem, not number 1.
Okay.
But, like, in the time, you can probably get 1 or 2 done here in class, then do 1 or 2 at home, and then finish it during ACT, and then you're done. And if you lose it, it is online. But if you want to keep doing it on paper, that's fine.
I got a bunch of them this weekend for my aunt. She has her own
Where'd you get those?
clothing company for my aunt in Greenville. I'm selling them 1 for 5 or 4 for 15. I sold so many. I have like boy ones too.
Well,
I just show the girls this picture because I sold a girl one.
okay. Let me stop recording real fast.